Thank you. So as Laska said, I'm not Mila, I'm Mia, and I met I met Bohuš for the first time 2 years ago because I'm part of the Future Now team. Future Now team is organizing weekly gatherings, startup competitions, and the Future Now conference. So I'm very happy that I can meet him again today and welcome him on the stage after 2 years. It's not actually true, but whatever. And welcome him on the stage and grill him a little bit about his success. So welcome Bohumil Pokštefl from Kontentino.
We actually met yesterday, so it hasn't been for 2 years. So thank you so much for having me here. I would like to really encourage you guys to. We are using Slido, and I'm pretty sure that you're all familiar with that. So ask me not so many questions, but ask me really in depth and how to say, help me with the word. So I will sweat like really difficult questions. If you have something in your mind, like you think that I would never answer, just ask it. I would really enjoy questions like that. Okay?
Well, actually, we tried to prepare for this fireside chat yesterday. We met yesterday, but the truth is that we are talking a little bit too much sometimes, and sometimes it's even off topic. So today I brought my questions with myself here. So I keep ourselves relevant, so pardon me when I'm going to look at them, but I will try not to. But as Bohuš said, please join Slido, another beautiful startup from Slovakia, and ask him or me questions. I'll be happy to read them out and then to help facilitate this conversation again. So I'm going to start right from the beginning. Don't you want to have a water? I mean, water. Yeah, this is the time right now. Then you're gonna have time. So I'm gonna start right from the beginning, which is 2014. At this time, the advertising agency Triad, I think you know, already started building this tool for managing social media. My question is why? Because at that time there was like a Hootsuite, there was Buffer or Social Bakers, and I would like to know like what was the market like at that time. So why they just wanted to put some kind of more of effort to build something like that from the scratch.
So I don't know how many of you is from marketing or advertising world. If you are, yeah, there is one. So when you are creating social media content for big brands or even for small ones, and you are outsourcing the creatives to advertising agencies, it's quite complicated process to create high quality content. It's not just downloading the picture from the Shutterstock and writing some kind of copy. And plus, if you are promoting this kind of content, you are spending quite a lot of money. So the content needs to be a high quality content. So if you imagine the work that you get a brief from the brand manager, and then the advertising agency, they have copywriters, graphic designers, art directors, and these people, they need to somehow collaborate. They assign tasks to each other, they discuss, they feedback the process, they feedback the creatives, and then the most painful part of all this creative workflow is you have to send it to brand manager, and brand manager will say, okay, I don't like this cat, I don't like this color, please change it. And the brand manager needs to say final approval, like, okay, this kind of piece of content is approved, it can be published or promoted. And the obsolete old-fashioned way of doing it, and still many agencies and brands are doing it, is it's basically emails, Excel sheets, WhatsApp, phone calls, which is the worst way of doing it. And it's pure mess. You are making mistakes, you have lost communication, lost feedback, and you are spending and wasting a lot of time on operational, not creative tasks. So that was the reason why Triad was searching for some kind of tool. Yes, there was a Buffer, there was Hootsuite, but none of these tools were solving the collaboration approval part of the whole process. So they're like, okay, there is nothing like that. And we have some kind of, we have a couple of software developers in-house. They have some free time. Let's try to create some very simple, minimal viable product for our needs. Let's see if it's going to help us. So they've been using it for like 2 years with their clients. Then several other agencies tried it as well and been using it as well. And in 2016, or a bit earlier, they have decided like, okay, maybe there's more agencies like us with the same problem. Let's try to sell it. Let's try to commercialize this MVP. So should I say the whole story?
You're just answering my 2 questions already. So yeah, but you can continue. Yeah, I mean, like, what were you doing in 2016 when you were jumping in the project?
I just got back from States. I got fired. I was working 1.5 years in USA for West Virginia University. I was helping small or early stage startups to create marketing strategies and doing market research and stuff like that. And I lost my visa and I got back home and I had no idea what to do. Like, I didn't know. That was my world. That was the only thing I knew. I was right after college. And basically what I was thinking that I'm really good at is business consultancy. So I applied for Bain, McKinsey, I don't know who else, Boston Consulting Groups. So I went for these interviews. They gave me these tests. I don't know, have everyone done these kind of tests? There's one. You probably know what I'm talking about. I thought that I'm pretty good, that I have critical thinking and I can do all that, but I was not. I failed all those tests, even though I was preparing for that. So I was kind of desperate. I was really down because I just had no kind of goal, no kind of vision, like what I'm going to do in Slovakia. And then I met my friend, and he said, like, you would be a good account manager for advertising agency. So just give it a shot and try Triad Advertising. They were hiring account managers, so I went there. And they didn't like me at first. They found me arrogant. That's sometimes my problem.
I don't know why.
Yeah, and they're very cool people, and they kind of sense these bad guys. And I just came from United States. I was like, I know everything. This kind of behavior, which is awful. I know now. And they said like, okay, maybe not for account manager, but we have this project. It's called Kontentino, and since you have some kind of experience from United States, maybe you can try to sell it or run it or whatever. So I said, okay, well, I'll try to do that. And then we were talking money, and they also had this kind of funny thing. I was having quite good money in the United States, and I got back here, and they offered me 350 euros per month, so I was not really happy about that. But I started, like I had nothing else to do. So I was working as an intern for Kontentino. And
how did you jump from the intern to CEO, like within, a few months? You were like 24, 25 at the time, right?
Yeah, I was like 24, 25. Well, this is kind of funny thing about startups, that you are 2 team startup, and one is CEO, another one is CTO. So this is what happened to me. First, I was like sales and business developer. Then I was like COO, Chief Operation Officer. And then 6 months later, when there was a first pitch competition, I was a CEO just because there was a pitch competition. So CEO usually do the pitches.
So how long it was like a one-man show? For how many months?
It was one-man show for, I think, year or more than a year. But I've got one software developer with me. First, he was working as a part-time. It was part-time job for him. Then he became a full-time employee, and it was more than a year. It was a one-man show.
Well, I suppose that it was like really hard at the beginning. I mean, you said that you had some like experience from your students' time on the marketing strategies and stuff, but then running running Kontentino for 1 year alone and like jumping into the startup world is not very easy actually. So when I was making a research, you said somewhere that there is no book, no podcast, no blog that can really teach you how to run a startup. So who was guiding you, or who was your help during the first time?
Well, first I must say that it was trial and error process. I had no experience doing this, and we were just trying to every single thing what pop in our mind and quickly execute it and quickly analyze if it works. And basically, my mentor was Marek Mrazik. He is the founder and co-owner of Triad. and he had no experience as well. But somehow he was telling me like, "This is stupid. We already tried it. We haven't tried this one. Let's try it." Or this is way too expensive, because he has the money, right? So if I said like, "Yeah, let's pay 10,000 euros for flying to United States, to New York, and let's do sales there," he said no. So he was kind of the guy who was saying no to everything, and I didn't really have a mentor except him when it comes to people.
Okay, but you ended up as a CEO, and I really think that a CEO is a person who drives the vision and the strategy. I know that you are not a vision type of a guy, but for sure you had some goals that you wanted to actually fulfill, right? I mean, like within 3 years. And now we are actually at that time that 3 years just like ended up, and I would like to know like if you really fulfilled what you wanted to happen with Kontentino at that time.
Honestly, I had no idea that Kontentino will be such a success. I just started to do Kontentino because I had nothing else to do. I didn't want to do it at the first place. I didn't trust the product. I didn't think that it's unique, innovative enough. There was so many competition. So I was kind of surprised that, okay, the first year we made some sales. And that was the point, like, okay, someone is actually willing to pay for this. So let's try to do more. And actually the first year what we were doing, we were trying to figure it out. What are we? What is our unique selling proposition? What is our positioning? Who are our target customers, ideal customers, personas? So this is what we were doing the first year. We were doing some sales, we were doing some pay-per-click campaigns, and we were generating some leads. But actually the first year, the most important thing was trying to figure it out, talking to our target audience, like who we are and what are we doing. Then we were trying to really push the sales and product a little more.
Yes, I mean, in 2015 you were just figuring out everything. Then in 2016 it was stated that you had like 10K revenues.
Yeah, in 2016 we were trying to figure it out.
Okay.
What are we doing?
And at the same time you had like 10.
We had some 10K revenue, and it was kind of a lot of money, you know.
Well,
and
further, I mean, like when you were trying to figure out and you still like earn 10,000, it's super great.
It was like more than my yearly salary. So
yeah. Yeah. And actually, at the end of the previous year, you had to grow like 450% in the revenues. And the easiest question, and I think it's the most difficult to answer, is like how? I mean, like how did this happen? I mean, it's such a growth, and I mean, for Slovak startup, it's pretty unique.
Yeah, I will answer back that question about the vision. We don't really have vision in Kontentino. I mean, honestly, we are having some kind of vision just because employees need that. And it's kind of a good thing to kind of lead them, and they feel more secure that, okay, we know what we are doing. But we are more tactical. Like our market space is so fast changing that basically saying like, okay, we will be the best collaboration social media tool in the world in 5 years, it won't happen. We're actually right now thinking that next year we will really switch our focus to something completely else. Then it's still social media, but maybe not really the collaboration. Okay, I don't want to say more, but it's such a fast changing environment that we can have vision. Our vision is we want to be best at eliminating the stupid task what creative people needs to do in advertising agencies or marketing. This unnecessary operational, I'm sorry my language, bullshit, like emailing, calling and stuff like that. They should really focus on creativity and not searching for documents, right? So this is kind of our vision, that we want people to do the work they really enjoy and eliminate this work which they don't really like to do. So. And what was your question?
I actually forgot right now because I am on the other page right now. But no, I was asking like how did it happen?
Yeah, the growth, how it happened. I don't know. We were just doing the best what we could. I mean, we actually every year we sit down and we say like, okay, what could be our growth? So. 2 years ago we said, yeah, it could be like 300%. Let's try to hit that, and it was 450. So goals are great
in some point, but goals are not really good because it can limit you somehow. I mean, you can this is your goal and you can hit it here or here. You don't really know, but it's kind of orientational, like, okay, maybe we want to go this way. But when it comes to like growth, I don't think that any company can predict like how much they will grow in next year. Maybe they do. People from McKinsey, I'm sure that they can predict stuff like that, but we don't. And the only thing what we do, we just do the best what we can to fulfill the needs of our customer, of the market, and with the good work, the money will come. That's a simple formula, I think.
Okay, but I think that we will need something more from you, not just like the money will come. But so let's focus on the strategy. At the beginning, you were probably just trying to reach out to clients in Slovakia. Then I would. Okay, you can change it. Yeah.
At the beginning, we had to generate leads very fast to start talking to people, to get a feedback. What should we do better? And we needed to generate some traffic. We needed to generate some registrations. And the only thing what really worked for us was Facebook advertising. We knew how to do Facebook ads because they know how to do Facebook ads. So we started with that. We were trying to do Google ads and content marketing, the whole inbound marketing thing, but it didn't really work for us because it was expensive and it takes a lot of time. It's just, inbound marketing, you work with this funnel and you need to move these people from brand awareness stage to consideration stage or whatever it is. I forgot that funnel, but you know what I'm talking about. So it takes a lot of time. And with Facebook ads, it was perfect because what we did, we visualized the problem and the solution within 6 seconds. So when someone we were having very specific targeting, and if someone saw the ad, they were like, "Oh, actually, this is our problem. Let's try this solution." The problem with the Google ads is, for example, for us, that we are social media collaboration and approval tool. So if someone wants to use us, they need to write social media approval tool or something like that. But no one will come up with this kind of words or search queries because we were trying to figure it out for 1 year. So I don't think that people will know that, okay, I need to type in a Google social media collaboration tool. So they were typing in social media tools, and there was so much competition, like Buffer, Hootsuite, like for everything. So when we were trying Google, we were having a lot of low quality registration, but with a Facebook, we stated the problem, stated the solution, and they, okay, this is us. If someone didn't have this problem, they simply didn't click on it and didn't register because it was clearly stated. So we were filtering these low quality leads at the very beginning. So that was our first, and you were asking like about the markets like Slovakia and Czech Republic. So we were trying like every single market in Europe and in the world. We just put there, I don't know, like 200 euros for 1 month for Malaysia, and we were trying to and we were observing like how much do we pay for conversion, for registrations, and are they actually going to pay or not. So at the first year we've got quite a lot of registration from Belgium and Netherlands, and they were actually willing to pay. So it became our strongest market the first year or second year. I'm kind of confused with these dates, but at the very beginning, like Belgium, Netherlands were very good markets for us, not Slovakia or Czech Republic.
I mean, like you started to talk about the online funnel, and there's also like a nice question from Valerian, the first one, and I think that actually it connects also with what we were talking about yesterday when we met, and you were telling me that you were analyzing a lot of stuff, and then you realized what is working most with the client, and you are showing just the thing that works the most. So how did you get to that point? I mean, like, how did you choose what is working best and for the client, and what was the process behind it? And actually, what is it?
Okay. So I think what is really important is to do these tries and see what's worked the best. And the second really important thing is to generate feedback, a lot of feedback from your target audience. And when it comes to our funnel, first we knew what kind of marketing channel is generating high quality leads. That's the first thing. The second thing, we were trying to analyze what's converting these leads into paid customers. And the best way how to analyze it is, for example, we have intercom chat. The best thing, we've got a couple of milestones. This was the first milestone in Kontentino when we implemented intercom chat. It's kind of CRM system. And that was the great way how to start direct communication with those leads and asking their direct questions, or they were asking us questions. So we knew exactly what they like, what they don't like. Secondly, we are doing product demonstrations, or consultations, which means that if there is a high quality lead, we will have chat with them or call with them, like conference call for like 30 minutes or 1 hour, it depends. And at the very beginning, we will ask him as many questions as possible to understand their problem. And then we show the product, but not the product like, okay, this is that, this is how it works. But we will show only those things which will solve their problems. And based on that, we get another very valuable feedback, because they will say, this is the way how to discover the aha moments. So when we show some kind of feature, they're like, aha, okay, this is cool. So our success managers who were having these calls, they were writing down these aha moments, and these aha moments then we use in our marketing strategies and communicate these aha moments much better. So I don't know if I answered the question properly. I mean, I could talk about this for like forever, because it's not the simplest thing, but yeah, that's.
Yeah, I think that's like a perfect timing then after this conversation, and you can then talk about it like into more details. But currently you have like around 3,000 clients worldwide, right? I mean, mostly Europe and then America, right? Okay. I would like to know, like, what is how does the strategy differ from, for example, Slovakia and Czech Republic? I mean, it's so close, but the target audience is so different and the market is so different. So, how do you actually change the strategy when you want to communicate with your Czech partners?
We don't really change the marketing strategy for the whole world except United States and Canada. That market is very specific, very mature. And in some cases, our tool is already obsolete for them or old-fashioned. And we don't do any paid ads for United States, even though it's our third strongest market when it comes to value of clients. So what we do in United States, we use comparison or review sites where you list your tool and then you are generating reviews from your clients. That works pretty well, or search engine optimization. Since we are kind of a very specific and niche product, these kind of people can find us very easily. And when it comes to the rest of the world, we are still keeping our lead generation campaigns. And what we start to do now is doing brand awareness campaigns. And we're just starting in Poland, because we have a Polish agency which is helping with Polish market, and we are trying to build brand awareness in Poland. And similarly, we're going to do it more locally in different European countries. There are differences. Like, for example, Czech Republic, they are very well known that they always want discount. Like, they don't even know the tool, they don't even know what it does, but the first question what they're gonna ask is like, okay, is there a discount for us? So this is we have internal jokes about Czech agencies, even though I love those clients from Czech Republic. When they understand the value, then they're very nice, they provide always valuable feedback, so they're great. But that's the big difference. Like in Slovakia, we sometimes might be shy to ask for a discount, right? I mean, in Europe, there's not so many differences than, for example, the rest of the world.
Okay, you have many clients, I would say. You have also many competitors, and there you have one maybe more, but one really big pain point, which is API, right? Instagram, and there are also like questions about it, like the last two. So how do you fight with that? What are you doing to change that? Is there any vision to change that, or do you think that it's going to be better soon? What do you think about it?
We are losing 25 to 30% every month on the fact that we don't have Instagram direct scheduling. That's a fact. We are losing 30% of our growth because of this. So it's the thing that we would like to have. The problem is that we are in very risky business, that we are dependent on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever channel. And if they're gonna say like, okay, we will not provide you this API, we can't do anything about it. So we were trying to hack it. We were trying to find third-party providers with this kind of API. It was working for 2 months, and we were very close to big fuck up. What happened? We are trying to really have this Instagram direct scheduling. So we found an API provider from the United States who said, we can provide you this Instagram API. So we are like, that's great. We're gonna pay them some kind of money, and we will have this what is our pain. So we were testing it for like 2 or 3 months with our heavy users. It was working smoothly. And what happened? Facebook shut them down. Luckily, they shut them down before the big campaign what we started to do. We were preparing 3 months, a huge marketing campaign with a lot of money, and we were trying to really penetrate the market with the fact that we are a collaboration approval tool with direct scheduling. Like our direct competitors would cry. And luckily, they shut it down a week before the launch. So I can't imagine what would happen if we would spend such money. It's not about the money, it's also about the reputation. That we would generate so many leads, and all of a sudden we would be like, sorry, we don't have it anymore. You can't do it. So we were lucky. I mean, if you would ask about the fuck up, what happened to me, I don't think that there is any fuck up yet, which would be worth mentioning. But if this would happen, that would be like, wow.
I want it, but yeah, you already answered it right now, so there's no point for that. But actually, what about your competitors? Like your biggest competitors, do they have are they Instagram friendly?
Yes, there are. There's many our indirect competitors like Hootsuite, Buffer, Later, Sprout Social, all these big guys who are having Instagram direct scheduling because they became Facebook marketing partners way before we started to do any social media tool. So they have this access to it because they are partners. We were trying to become partners last year or 2 years ago. Didn't work out. They have Facebook has different vision than we are. This is what I've heard when I was having a call with some kind of higher person from New York Facebook office, and where we were saying about our vision and their vision. Their vision is to cut off advertising agencies from the creative process. They found them unnecessary. So they are looking for this AI thing which will replace the creativity, but you can't replace creativity with AI. So this was kind of a breaking point where we realized like, okay, we probably will not become a Facebook marketing partner because our visions are completely different. And we will still try to do it because we need it. We need access to API. We need to have better collaboration with Facebook. But we'll see with our new product what will happen, if they will like it or not. So yeah, that's the struggle we are having because we are dependent on other people's decisions.
Yeah, but you were still able to get like the really big ad agencies. So I think there is still something that wants them to use Kontentino over Buffer or Hootsuite.
Yeah, that's happening quite often because they realize that the biggest pain point when they are having clients is the communication. And we have many case studies which proves that, for example, BBDO from Belgium, they started with 70 users and they grew up to 200 users. So they could actually hire or get more clients on their side with similar number of resources, in-house resources they have. So this is what's happening. If the agencies realize the problem of communication, internal communication or communication with a client, they understand that Hootsuite is obsolete tool. They're old dinosaurs. I mean, they've been here for 8-9 years. We have only 3 direct competitors and they are same size as we are. So imagine that this kind of field is not really covered by those big guys.
Okay. I've got another question about your marketing strategies, and it's also partially with one of those. You said somewhere that you were spending like 4,000 euros a month and you invest in marketing. And I would like to know, like, how do you spend those money? I mean, like, what is the driving force for your sales? And also, if you have like any team that is focusing mostly just on, like, for example, USA, you said that you have also like the client in Benelux, or there's like there are Czech clients. So do you have your team that is specializing on these areas, or no? Two questions.
I will answer the first question. We are spending still more and more money on marketing, but we are very careful how we are going to spend it, because we are bootstrapped. We never had investor. We don't want investor this time, right now. We don't think that we are investment ready, or we need investor. So everything what we make, we put back to company. So we are very careful how we're going to spend money, and the distribution of the budget for marketing kind of changes. For example, we were spending 2,500 euros for Facebook, and we just stopped Facebook last month because Facebook changed algorithm, and the cost per registration from Facebook all of a sudden was 10 times higher than we were used to. So we are trying to figure it out how to replace this channel, or how to optimize this Facebook campaign. So we have some kind of things what we are going to try. I don't want to mention that. So Facebook is now over. So all of a sudden we have a channel which was one of the most powerful, which is not working. And now we are trying to figure it out. What are the other powerful channels going to be? It's going to be Google Ads. We are spending a lot of money there. We finally figured out how to do proper Google Ads. We have more, how to say, it's kind of complicated. I don't know how to explain. We figured it out how to do the Google Ads the better way. So we are generating higher quality leads. Then we are doing this influencer marketing. We are having influencers from different regions. I'm not talking about Kardashians, but I'm talking about influencers from our field. And what they are doing organic mentions. Like, there's so much talk about social media tools on the online space. Everyone is asking, like, hey guys, what do you use for social media? And you get so many answers, like so many different tools. So we have these influential people who are mentioning us, or writing reviews about us. That works quite well. And we started to do search engine optimization this year. So we were kind of late with this one, but that's what we are trying to do. We didn't do search engine optimization because it takes time, and we wanted to be much faster than that. We kind of forgot about search engine optimization, so we are doing it now.
Everything you were mentioning right now is done like in-house, or Triad is still helping you with this?
We have one girl from Triad which is doing Facebook ads. We have one Polish agency which is doing social media monitoring, Quora marketing, and Polish market. We have pay-per-click guys for Google, search engine optimization consultant, external graphic designer. We have 15 people, external people working on Kontentino. The reason is very hard to find talented people who would work in-house full-time for you. So we have many people from abroad. We are a team of 15, and I have already 2 foreigners in my team. So
mostly your team is focusing on selling like into the countries. No, like you have like external graphic designers. You are outsourcing pay-per-click guys and stuff. So mostly the team is focusing on selling the product, right?
Not really. I mean, we don't do direct sale, or if you, I'm pretty sure that in your mind it's selling like you're gonna write a cold mail or cold call and trying to sell the product. We sell the way that we are generating these registrations, and we have a kind of still more and more sophisticated process how to convert them to paid customers. We have now 10 to 11% conversion rate for paid customer. The average on the market is 5%. So it's quite good, I think. And what these people are doing, they have very personal communication with leads. So they qualify them at the beginning of the registration. They have this 30-day trial for free. And in the first days, they're trying to qualify them. Are we going to spend time on them or not? Do they need us or not? If they need us, then we are trying to convince them, like, guys, have a consultation. It's for free. You will save time. discovering the tool. We will tailor the tool for you. The tool is not changing or anything, but we will show you exactly how it can solve your problems, and you can decide faster if this tool is suitable for your needs or not. And then they are following up with them quite heavily. If they are interested, then we close them. They are becoming paid customers, and then we are trying to retain them. So we are fighting with churn right now, which is kind of high. So then after sale care is very important, because the churn is here, and churn is killer of a SaaS industry. If you forget about your churn and you are not paying attention to it, it will kill you. So what we are doing there, this team is also doing success calls. Every 3 months they are calling with the most important clients, and basically they will ask them many questions like how they are doing, what's new, what's annoying for them, what is the new pain, what are the trends on the market, just providing the feedback. Is there a space for upsell, for example? Are there new people in your team? Do you getting new clients? Anything like that. So it's 5 people, and we still will need a little more. But this is one part. Then we have software developers on the other side, and then we have 2 marketing girls, and the rest is just operations and helping me and Ivan, who is our CTO, with running the company.
Okay, you were talking a lot about retaining your customers. I would like to know, like, if you still remember who was your first paying customer, and if this subject, object, whoever it is still with you.
It was this Dutch company. They are still with us. They are really big, and they were paying a lot at the beginning. We were surprised that they are actually willing to pay that much. And they love us. They're lovers. We love them, and it was amazing feeling when we closed them. But I don't know if it's funny or not, but I have one story when I sold to IKEA in Czech Republic. I was supposed to have a meeting in Prague in the morning, showing the product, what we have. And I woke up in the morning, and I was still kind of sleepy, and I've got my juice on the coffee table, and I took a sip, and I was like, what is that? What is that? And it was a bee, and the bee bite me in my lip, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not allergic. I will just go for the meeting. Well, nothing can happen. Then what happened is that my lip was huge, like extremely enormous. And I was sitting in this taxi, and what was happening was that I couldn't close my mouth, so I was spitting a little bit on the sides. So I was sitting in this taxi thinking, like, should I call them that I got sick and I just can't attend the meeting? And I was like, no, fuck it. I'll just go there. I'll make it my strong point, make fun of it, and just do the deal. So I went there. I've seen those faces before, like, what the hell is that? What's going on? This is not okay. Basically I've got this presentation. From time to time I was just cleaning my dripping spit, DNA. And at the end, they became our paid customers, and they are very insightful. They give a lot of good feedback. Based on their needs, we created one huge module in Kontentino. So I was very happy when they actually paid. It was a great feeling.
Okay, you were happy with it, they paid, but I think that there was also like the success of the whole team. It was not just like you, right? So I'm gonna just like somehow bridge to the other question that I'm going to read out loud, because I forgot that we are actually live streaming as well. So the first thing that I'm going to ask is that as a CEO, you need to drive also some kind of culture in your team. And I would like to know, like, what is the culture in Kontentino like? If it is like, every time you are talking to some startups, and especially the young ones, they're like hustling all around. They're like, workaholics, and they invest so much time into work. But I would like to know if this is the case also in Kontentino, or you are just the one that likes to have your people to be like, to have like mental health.
Yeah, we are hustle free. Not really. I mean, I will start with hiring. There are 2 criteria based on what we are hiring new people. The first one is if he or she is a fit in a team. If it's a good person, right? You don't want to work with assholes, even though they can. And I've got many people who've got amazing CVs. They knew everything. They were skilled, but there was something which was like, I'm not really sure about this person. You know.
This is like the red flags that you look for in job applicants, right? Like what are the mistakes and...
Yeah, it's a gut feeling. Yeah, I mean, the first impression, even though my first impression when Triad was hiring me was really bad, but for some reason, 350 euros a month, it's a pretty good deal to try this guy. So that's one thing. And the second thing is passion. I mean, we have every single one in our team is junior, unexperienced. And if they have a passion, I think that they can very quickly learn. They can very quickly provide a value to the company. And I mean, honestly, we will need some seniors very soon to set up processes. But you don't want senior to do executive job. You want senior to manage, right? But we are only 15, so we don't need managerial positions yet. So these are the two criteria based on what we are hiring. And about the culture. I mean, at the beginning we were hustling like crazy when we started to have this intercom chat. So I basically woke up 11 in the morning. I didn't woke up. I was up 11 at night and I was still chatting with some kind of leads. But I loved it. I was excited about it. So we were working a lot. And similarly, it's with our customer success managers that if they have a client from United States or a lead from United States and they want to have a call at 10 p.m., well, they will do it. I mean, we are not forcing them. We are not saying we don't have a working time. We start working at 9, finishing at 6. When it's chill, when there are no leads, I mean, everyone goes home, right? But since half of our team is paid provision based, you gotta be driven. You know what's the value, and you just gotta do what you gotta do. So it's hassle free. We have a lot of fun. We laugh. We make fun, and I think that the people who are with us for a longer time, they work overtime. But I think that they get back what they earn, basically not the money, but how to say. They give us value and we give them some kind of value back, right? Yeah. So there's some kind of right balance.
Okay, what was the hardest choice you have to make so far as a CEO of Kontentino?
When I had to fire, I hate firing people, and when I have to hire someone, these are the hardest choices I do. Firing is obviously bad. You feel bad because they are going to be without money for some time. Maybe they like the job and like the environment to work in Kontentino, but sometimes I think they might be more successful in some kind of different environment or different company. And hiring people is also very difficult because if I'm gonna make a wrong choice and this guy or girl will be happy that, I just got hired by Kontentino, I have a job. But if it's a bad fit, he will be not happy, we will be not happy, and it's quite a big responsibility to hire someone because you are providing him kind of living, you are providing him kind of knowledge, and these people are going to spend 9 hours in your environment. And if it's not fit for them, and maybe they landed like 3 different other job opportunities to have, and they choose us, but there was those other 2 were much better fit for them. That sucks. I mean, that's really not a good thing. So these 2 decision makings are the most difficult for me.
Okay, and do you have like some HR manager in your team, or do you think that you are qualified enough? So you think you're qualified enough to hire someone?
I'm not, but we don't need an HR guy. I mean, who is helping with hiring is Marek, the founder of Triad, because he is experienced. He built companies to get 2 companies, 2 branches, one in Bratislava, one in Prague. He hired so many people. He fired so many people. So he's experienced. He can sense the human side of those people. So he's helping with it from time to time. But we don't need HR.
And when you are thinking about like your long-term strategy, is it like just you, Marek, or your CTO, Ivan, right? Yeah, Ivan, or do you actually invite everybody in your team to brainstorm about the vision or the end strategy of Kontentino? Do you plan some kind of like exit strategy or no? Do you want to be acquired? If yes, by who?
I mean, it would be nice to be acquired by someone, but I would like to stay in the company maybe. I will tell you why it would be nice to be acquired. Because if we got acquired by someone bigger, it would be more chill. Because we are in very risky field, and I believe if Hootsuite would acquire us, I know that they are marketing partner, they are friends with Facebook, they are making $80 million a year, they've got much bigger power than we have. So it would be a little more stress-free, I think. But we are not having goals to be acquired. We are just doing the best what we can to have fun, to providing this value to our users, to our target market, and that's how we run the whole thing.
Okay, I will stay in the future because there is Anonymous asking, do you have any vision where should Kontentino move in the future? For example, scenario when Facebook and Instagram will not be relevant anymore.
There will be something else what will be relevant for creative industry, creative advertising industry, and we will be there. So we are already right now we are sensing some kind of trends, and we are not shifting, but we are adding or preparing some add-ons. So we are getting ready if this will happen, but it will take some time. If when Facebook or Instagram will be irrelevant, it can be 2 years, 3 years, and I think that we will know about it quite soon.
Okay, so you said that you are already sensing something. So if you could advise us, maybe some 3 to 5 tips that we should do right now to get ready for the future, to get ready for the trends, and just when we have some kind of business and we wanna actually expand beyond Slovakia, what should we do? What would be like the first 3 things to do?
Like in social media or
in the product?
Like if someone providing some kind of ideas, like okay, this is a cool thing, this will be very big hit. Try to figure it out how you can solve it. Yes. Perfect. I think e-shop industry is very, very sexy right now. Like Exponia, look at that, like how they are doing. Roy Hunter from Brno. I mean, e-shop for me right now they have Instagram launched that you can shop for everyone. You can shop from Instagram. So I think this is very, very interesting field, and we're actually thinking about it to do something with e-shops. That's the only thing what popped in my mind because we deal with it recently, and I think it's going to be still bigger and bigger. I mean, in Czech Republic you have more e-shops than the whole population. I think there is a lot of e-shops in Czech Republic.
Okay, yeah.
Fake news, maybe. I'm sorry. I don't have the data, but they have a lot of e-shops.
Yeah, I mean, like currently there is also like one e-shop competition running right now, so there is a lot of e-shops. And actually, I met today with ROE Hunter today, and they were also suggesting to use a lot of Instagram stories. What do you think about it? I mean, videos in Instagram stories. Do you have some kind of like preferences when you have like the special, for example, advertising type on the digital medium? Where should we
like what we are doing with Instagram when marketing our product, or
I mean, like for example, you said that like Facebook is
dying.
Yeah, so Facebook is dying. So what would you do, or what would you suggest to do on maybe other platforms, or using maybe other platforms? Because there is another question actually, and the question is if you also use LinkedIn for generating leads, and if yes, what strategies work the best for you? So people are also asking about the other platforms, not just Facebook.
Cool. Facebook is dying, is already dead in the United States and dying in Europe, and in Eastern Europe is actually blooming, and in Asia is blooming even more. So it depends what market, but Asia, crazy. Facebook is just on a peak. So when it comes to Instagram, just every time Facebook or Instagram or any other platform launch something, like new feature you can do with this platform, just do it. try it out because it's going to be very cheap, and it's going to be cheap. That's a very valuable thing. Like stories, Instagram paid ads for stories was like 1 cent per view at the very beginning. Right now, I don't know, we are having like 15 cents per view. So that's one tip. And when it comes to this LinkedIn question, LinkedIn is extremely expensive. I mean, our average ticket or average value per one sale is 125 or 130 euros. So on average, they're paying us 130 euros a month. One account, one company. So, and LinkedIn, we tried to do LinkedIn ads recently, and we've got in United States 8 euros per click. That's a click, not that they will register, and 5 euros in Belgium per click. That's a crazy price per click. And I think LinkedIn is great if you have very expensive product. If your product costs 100,000 euros a year, do LinkedIn. Try it out. But if your product costs 1,500 euros a year, the return of investment is not there. We were doing also sales through LinkedIn. Again, we are very inexpensive to do direct sales. So we were generating quite good leads, and we were converting them to paid customers, but the value of paid customers through LinkedIn was kind of low, and we had to pay the sales guy for the time he was spending on. So it didn't work out for us that well. Depends what is your business, but LinkedIn is extremely expensive advertising channel.
Yeah, I have the same opinion actually about LinkedIn, but it would be really nice to be able to utilize these leads, because I think that there is like a really good audience, especially for your market.
I mean, you can beautifully target your target audience, like exactly. Like you can even target someone who just left the company or started a new position in a company. Like there's so many options, but it's just crazy expensive.
Okay, we have another question. If Kontentino can be integrated with project tools like Slack or Asana or CRM softwares, Salesforce.
It will. We are preparing some integrations for this year. We are discussing with our users what they are using the most, what would be the value. The reason why we want to have integration is retaining customers even more. It's much harder to leave 2 tools than leaving just 1 tool. That's one thing. Secondly, you are providing some kind of extra value. If you are missing some things in your tool, you don't have to spend time on developing that. You can just use this integration. And when it comes to Slack, people don't really want it for some reason when we were making this research. Asana, Kontentino is Asana. It's basically if Asana and Buffer would have a baby, that's Kontentino. And we want to do integrations for many reasons.
Okay, but what is the one most crucial innovation, or something that you are working on right now, and you can tell about it?
You know what we did this year? We didn't do almost any change or innovation in the product when it comes to user interface. We didn't touch it. What we were doing the whole 5 months was we were working on our backend. Kontentino was created for 100 users. Now we have thousands of users, and this is what we were doing the whole 5 months, because it has to be faster, it has to be more reliable, secure, etc., etc. So this is what we were doing right now, and this is something what maybe users don't realize, that they think like, okay, they are not innovating enough, they're way too slow, but we were innovating the product so fast at the beginning because we could. It was very easy to do something. But since the product is more and more robust, every single change requires much more time. So right now we are very carefully picking what kind of feature we will add. Before that it was just like, yeah, let's do it. It takes like 2 days of software development. Let's see. But right now we are very picky when it comes to adding some kind of features. And the innovation what we are doing right now, we are going to be more focused on paid ads and more focused on international brands.
Okay, international brands are great because I can bridge it again. So how did you enter global markets? I mean, like, I know that there is someone right now in the USA, but what is like your long-term strategy when you were thinking about like going beyond Slovakia?
We are from beyond. We are international from the day one. I mean, Slovakia and Czech Republic is such a small market that you have to think globally. And our strategy for entering the international market is basically, we were doing this Facebook, just hitting those countries, just trying out how the Hungary gonna work, how Malaysia gonna work, how South Africa gonna work. With online marketing, you can be anywhere, literally anywhere. Then you have these review sites what we are using. Those are international sites where anyone from the globe can enter and find reviews or find similar tools to yours. So there is not really. This is the question. Like, how do you do this local strategy? Like, how do you say if you have a B2B or online product? Like, how do you stay in just one country? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, just please talk to me. Let's have a beer and we can discuss. And I want to know how you operate only in one market if you are online software, online business.
I don't know. We are also trying expanding. But this is like another question connected with this to this one, and it is like, what make your global customers start using it? I mean, like, what make them convinced that they should choose Kontentino over others? I mean, like, I think that you already actually said that it was like the collaboration part of that, but you can correct me and maybe just said something else if it is something else. I mean, you don't really have like the big global brand right now.
We don't have a brand, but who cares about brand? I mean, this is another mistake what some businesses are doing in our field. They pick a country, let's say Germany, and what they're gonna do? They're gonna do this huge brand awareness campaign. They're gonna spend a lot of money. Then they do some kind of consideration campaign. They're doing this content marketing, generating a lot of content, educational stuff and stuff like that to build a brand. And then somehow they want to convert them to paid customers. People don't really care about brand. They care about the solution and if it's reliable, solving their problems. And that's why, once again, that's why Facebook worked. You don't have to know Kontentino. If the tool will say, if the ad will say, this is your problem, this is your solution, give it a try, you have 30 days for free, and they see that it works, they don't care if it's Kontentino or, I don't know, pineapple.
So would you say that this is like the best business idea you would give to anyone else? I mean, like, focusing on problem solving, not maybe just...
Yes, that's what everyone should do. I mean, it's quite obvious. You are solving problem. That's how you sell. Of course, if you are not fashion product or something like that, right? Then you sell emotions and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, building a brand awareness is something unnecessary when you are solving actual problem. It's different. For example, we have a client, Be Wooden. It's wooden accessories, and they have to do this brand awareness because they are telling the story. They are selling emotions. They are selling the story. We are selling solution for someone else's problem.
Okay, I don't know like how much time do we have. Is there someone to tell me? 15 minutes, okay. So I have a few questions as well, and I see that there are like still questions popping up. So I will just continue with these from mine, and I would like to really know if there is also time for you to have some kind of like hobbies and personal life, because I mean, being in like driving force of the startup is, I think, pretty exhausting. So I would like to know if you still have time to do some kind of like afterlife.
Even though I'm 28, this will maybe be funny, but I'm starting to feel kind of old, and I just can't hustle as I did at the beginning. So I started to have more healthy life. I don't drink that much as before, right? Before that, I could balance it out somehow. I mean, I know some people from advertising world who can still hustle and have party life, and they are more than 30. But I can't. I mean, and what I started to do, I started to read before I go sleep, so I have much better sleep. And I'm not a big reader. I read it just because I have a healthy sleep. That's my motivation to read something. What I do, for example, I see bottles of wine there and beer, and I'm like, I would like to have a glass, but it's the middle of week, and I have a rule that I never drink during the week because I have to be 100% focused during that week. And even one glass of alcohol, it's slowing you down a bit, at least for me. I mean, sometimes I can feel it the next day. My sleep is not that deep as I want, as I would like, but my weekends are crazy, though.
Yeah. Thank you very much
Thank
that
you so
came
much for
here.
having me.
Thank you, Bohuš.